Welcome back. Today. We're diving into the world of the rarest and most valuable Jefferson nickels, those sought-after silver beauties with a special historical significance. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer, you'll want to know about the top 10 most valuable Monticello Jefferson nickel coins in today's market. Let's get started. First up, the 1950s, the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1952, and without a mint mark. It's rare, it's valuable, and collectors around the world are on the hunt for this nickel. Before we get into the details of why this 1952 nickel is so valuable, let's take a quick look at the history behind the Jefferson nickel itself. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin showcases a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side, and on the reverse side, we see his iconic home, Monticello. So why is the 1952 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark such a big deal? First, let's break down a few things. The absence of a mint mark tells us that this coin was minted in Philadelphia, as Philadelphia didn't start adding mint marks to its nickels until later. While the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these nickels in 1952, finding one today in very good condition is incredibly rare. Alright, let's talk about the key features of this 1952 Jefferson nickel. If you have one, pay close attention. The obverse side, or front of the coin, should have a clear image of Thomas Jefferson's profile. Even though we're talking about a coin in very good condition, you want the date 1952 to be legible, and ideally you'll see some remaining details in Jefferson's hair and on his face. Now, flip it over to the reverse side, where you'll see Monticello Jefferson's iconic home. Even in a very good condition coin, this side might have some light wear, but you should still be able to identify Monticello and the words E pluribus unum above it. The details of the building may be a bit faded, but the overall structure should be recognizable. So, let's get to what everyone's here for: the value. In today's market, the 1952 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is considered a fantastic find, even in very good condition. While some coins in higher grades, like uncirculated or extra fine, can bring in more significant prices, a very good condition 1952 Jefferson nickel can still surprise you. Now, for a 1952 Jefferson nickel in very good condition, current market values can range from around $380,000, but, as with all rare coins, the exact value depends on the buyer and the overall condition. If you're able to find one in higher grades, especially uncirculated, you could be looking at values upwards of $520,000 or more. So why exactly is this coin so valuable? Well, there are a few reasons. First, 1952 was a year when the US was still emerging from post-World War II times, and the economy was growing. Many coins from this era were heavily circulated, which means fewer coins in good condition survived over the years. Additionally, Philadelphia minted coins from this era weren't marked with a mint letter, which adds a layer of rarity when collectors look for distinct, recognizable coins from that year. Now, if you think you have a 1952 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, here are a few tips to make sure it's genuine. First, check the edge of the coin. Authentic 1952 nickels should have a smooth, non-reeded edge. Also, double-check the weight. A real Jefferson nickel weighs about 5 grams. And as always, when in doubt, consider taking your coin to a professional appraiser or coin dealer. They'll be able to confirm authenticity and possibly give you a more accurate idea of its value. Let's say you have a 1952 Jefferson nickel in very good condition and you're ready to sell. How should you go about it? Well, you have a few options. Many collectors start with online marketplaces like eBay, where you can list the coin and see if any collectors or buyers are interested. Coin auctions, both online and at local coin shows, are also great options. You may even want to consider joining a coin collecting group on social media. Collectors there are often very interested in trading and buying rare finds. So, is the 1952 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark a valuable find? Absolutely. Even in very good condition, it holds a unique place in the world of coin collecting, not only because of its age, but also due to its scarcity and appeal to collectors. If you have one of these coins, you own a little piece of American history. And who knows, as time goes on, the value of these rare nickels could increase even more, especially as collector interest continues to grow. Next up, the 1944 Jefferson nickel with the large S mint mark. a silver coin with remarkable value today. This isn't just any nickel, it's a wartime silver Jefferson nickel. As you may know, during World War II, the US government faced a shortage of nickel, an essential metal for the war effort. In response, the US Mint altered the composition of 5-cent coins from 1942 to 1945, removing nickel and adding silver. This 1944 Jefferson nickel is a special wartime coin that contains 35% silver, making it a valuable and unique piece for collectors today. Now, let's talk a bit about the S mint mark on this coin. The large S indicates it was minted in San Francisco, which produced only a limited quantity of these wartime nickels. Compared to the Philadelphia and Denver mints, the San Francisco mint produced fewer of these coins, making the 1944 S a bit rarer. And when it comes to coin collecting, rarity often means increased value. During the war, the minting of silver nickels was a temporary measure, which gives these coins a historical edge. As the war ended, so did the production of silver nickels, making this coin a true snapshot of an important era in American history. This backstory adds even more significance to the 1944 Jefferson nickel, giving collectors a reason to seek them out. So, what makes the 1944 Jefferson nickel with the large S mint mark so special today? First, there's its composition with 35% silver. It's one of the few nickels that contains precious metal, and this alone contributes to its intrinsic value. And second, the larger S mint mark on the reverse side of the coin distinguishes it, making it easy to identify for collectors. Alright, now let's get into what everyone wants to know, the current market value of a 1944 Jefferson nickel with the large S mint mark in circulated condition. While there are many factors that affect a coin's value like condition, rarity, and demand, even circulated 1944 S Jefferson nickels can fetch impressive prices due to the silver content and historical appeal. In circulated condition, a typical 1944 S Jefferson nickel can sell for around $530,000. However, the exact value will depend on how worn the coin is. For coins with only mild wear and better definition of details, you're looking closer to the higher end of this range. And remember, if you have a 1944 S nickel that's been well preserved, its value can increase even more. Why is this coin so desirable? There's a combination of reasons: the historical significance of wartime nickels, the unique silver composition, and the appeal of the large S mint mark. These factors make it a standout in the world of Jefferson nickels and a must-have for anyone serious about building a comprehensive collection. Let's take a look at recent sales. Circulated 1944 S Jefferson nickels have been known to sell at online auctions and coin shows within the $700,000 range, depending on condition. Another reason collectors are interested in these coins is for their investment potential. Silver content alone gives the 1944 S nickel intrinsic value, which can grow over time. In a way, these coins offer a bit of a two-in-one value, both as a collectible and as a precious metal investment. And as fewer of these silver coins remain in good condition, the market value could continue to rise. If you're looking to buy or sell a 1944 S Jefferson nickel, here are a few tips. First, always check the authenticity of the coin. The large S mint mark is a key detail. Second, for sellers, it can be beneficial to get the coin graded if it's in particularly good condition, as this may increase its market value. For buyers, if you're getting a circulated coin, aim for one that still shows strong detail and minimal wear. So, there you have it. The 1944 Jefferson nickel with the large S mint mark is not only a fascinating piece of World War II history, but also a valuable collectible with unique silver content. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, this nickel can be a wonderful addition to any collection or a worthy investment if you're interested in wartime coins. Next up, a 1964 Monticello Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark, and something that makes it even more special: its unique black color condition. This eye-catching look and history make it highly intriguing, and today we'll explore why this particular nickel is sought after, its history, and what it's worth on today's coin market. Let's start with a bit of background. The Jefferson nickel was first minted in 1938, designed by artist Felix Schlag. His design honored the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, and featured his home, Monticello, on the reverse side. For collectors, the 1964 D. Jefferson nickel holds a unique place in history as the U.S. Mint produced a record-breaking number of them, over 1 billion, to meet the nation's increasing demand for coinage. So, what makes this 1964 D nickel stand out from the billions produced? First, the D mint mark means it was struck at the Denver Mint. Second, its unique blackened condition gives it a distinct appearance. This black color may be the result of natural oxidation, specific environmental exposure, or a reaction to the coin's metal alloy, which included a high percentage of copper and nickel. But whatever the cause, it creates an eye-catching look that collectors love. When it comes to coin value, condition is critical. Coin grading helps determine the value, ranging from poor, very fine, extra fine, all the way to mint state or uncirculated. Blackened or naturally toned coin can be appealing to collectors if it's in a unique state, especially one in very fine or extra fine condition. However, even in lower grades, a unique color or toning can make a common coin more collectible. Now, let's get into the exciting part: its value on today's market. For a standard 1964 D nickel in typical circulated condition, the value is usually modest, maybe around $300,000. However, in better grades, or with unique features like the black toning we're discussing, it can be worth much more. On the collector's market, blackened or toned coins are a niche of their own. If you have a 1964 D nickel in fine to extra fine condition with this unusual black tone, prices can range between $700,000 depending on just how unique and visually appealing it looks. For top grades in uncirculated or mint state condition, some may fetch upwards of $800,000 or more, and keep in mind that these prices can vary based on demand. Unique toned coins often attract buyers at auctions who are specifically looking for distinctive coins to complete their collections. So, why do collectors gravitate toward coins like this 1964 D blackened nickel? Unique toned coins bring variety to collections. They tell stories about the journey a coin has been on, from environmental exposure to years in circulation. It's these details that create a truly unique piece, making it more than just currency, but a piece of history. This 1964 D nickel in black condition is a standout example of how even small variations can make a coin far more desirable and valuable. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, the 1964 D Jefferson nickel, with its rare blackened tone, is a fascinating coin to own. It's a piece of American history, a relic from the 1960s, and with its unique coloration, it holds a unique value on today's market. So, keep an eye out for this gem in your collection, or at coin shops you might just have a rare treasure waiting to be discovered. Next up, explore one of the most sought-after Jefferson nickels from the year 1943. This is not just any nickel though, it's the iconic Monticello Jefferson nickel with the large S mint mark, struck in silver during World War II. If you're a coin enthusiast or investor, you won't want to miss this. Now, let's take a deep dive into what makes the 1943 Jefferson nickel so special and why its value continues to grow in today's market. The Jefferson nickel, designed by Felix Schlag, has been in production since 1938, but in 1943 it became an important piece of American history. Why? Because 1943 was during World War II, and the US government needed to conserve copper for the war effort. So for the first time, the nickel was made of a silver alloy instead of the usual copper-nickel blend. This makes the 1943 Jefferson nickel highly desirable for collectors today. In 1943, there were 3 different mint marks used for the Jefferson nickel: the P for the Philadelphia Mint, the D for the Denver Mint, and the S for the San Francisco Mint. While the 1943 P and D nickels were struck in a mix of copper and nickel, the S mint mark coin was struck in a 35% silver alloy, adding to its rarity and value. So what exactly sets apart the 1943 S mint mark Jefferson nickel? First and foremost, the large S mint mark. This mint mark is much larger than the standard mint mark used on other coins of the time. It stands out, making it a unique and highly collectible feature. But why did the San Francisco Mint use such a large S? That's still up for debate among numismatists, but what we do know is that these large S mint mark coins were produced in limited quantities compared to the other varieties. This is one of the main reasons why these coins fetch such high prices today. Here's a closer look at that mint mark. As you can see, the S is clearly larger and more prominent than what you typically see on other coins. It's not just about size, though this coin is made of silver, and that alone increases its value significantly over time. Now, let's talk about condition. The coin we're discussing today is in very fine condition, a grade that means the coin shows some wear but still retains much of its detail. In this condition, you can still see the fine lines of Monticello on the reverse side, and Jefferson's profile remains strong and clear. While uncirculated coins are often in pristine condition with no visible wear, a very fine coin, like the 1943 Jefferson nickel we're talking about, has been in circulation and shows some light signs of age, but it's still a beautiful example of this historic piece. Coins in very fine condition are highly prized by collectors because they strike a balance between affordability and rarity. So, how much is a 1943 Jefferson nickel with the large S mint mark worth today? Well, in today's market, the value of this coin can vary depending on the specific condition and the demand at the time of sale. As of now, a 1943 Jefferson nickel in very fine condition can range in value from around $420,000 depending on the current market trends and the buyer's interest. If you're looking at a coin in mint state or a higher grade, that value could jump significantly higher, up to $690,000 or more. The silver content alone also gives it inherent value right now. The silver content in this coin, at 35%, makes it worth a few dollars just based on the precious metal. But of course, the rarity of the large S mint mark and the historical significance of the coin pushes it far beyond its face value. Why is the 1943 Jefferson nickel with the large S mint mark so desirable? Well, there are a few reasons. First, it's a piece of American wartime history. These coins were made during a time of national crisis, and their silver composition was part of the effort to conserve copper for military use. Second, the 1943 S mint mark coins are relatively scarce compared to other mint marks, making them a coveted addition to any collection. Finally, the silver content and the overall rarity of the coin, combined with its historical significance, make it a great investment for those looking to diversify their coin collection or invest in precious metals. So there you have it, the 1943 Monticello Jefferson nickel with the large S mint mark in very fine condition is truly a rare and valuable coin. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin represents a wonderful piece of history and a solid investment in today's market. Next up, the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1941. This coin is not only a piece of history, but also a silver rarity that can hold a big market value in today's coin collection world. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting your journey into coin collecting, this nickel is something you won't want to miss. Let's dive deep into what makes this 1941 nickel so special, why it's considered rare, and how much it's worth today. So sit back, grab your magnifying glass, and let's explore the world of the Monticello Jefferson nickel. The 1941 Monticello Jefferson nickel was minted during a period of great change in America. Designed by Felix Schlag, the obverse features a bust of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. The reverse showcases Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia, making it not just a coin but a piece of history that reflects America's heritage. On the obverse, you can see the iconic portrait of Jefferson with the inscription "In God We Trust" above his image and "Liberty" on the left. Under his bust is the date, 1941. The reverse shows Monticello, Jefferson's grand estate, along with E Pluribus Unum and United States of America in a circular form around the structure. This design became a defining feature of the Jefferson nickel series, which continues to be cherished by collectors today. Now, why is the 1941 Jefferson nickel so rare? Well, first off, the 1941 nickel was produced in large quantities at several U.S. mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But here's the catch: our focus today is on the 1941 nickel without a mint mark. Coins without a mint mark are typically struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and in the case of this 1941 nickel, the absence of a mint mark makes it stand out as an essential part of the collection. This version is often harder to find in excellent condition, which adds to its value. Now, let's talk about the condition. For a coin to achieve its highest value, it needs to be in excellent or higher condition. The 1941 nickel, like all coins, is graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with grades like fine, extra fine, and uncirculated in between. An excellent condition 1941 Jefferson nickel is one that shows minimal wear, with clear details of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello's design on the reverse. An excellent condition coin has sharp, well-defined features and only light wear on the high points. It might have a slight tarnish or toning, but overall, it should be clean and have a strong, clear design. Now, here's where the excitement happens. The market value of a 1941 Monticello Jefferson nickel can vary significantly depending on its condition. A coin in excellent condition can fetch anywhere from $280,000. However, if you have an extra fine or uncirculated version, the price can go up considerably, sometimes reaching over $350,000 or more, depending on demand and scarcity. In fact, an uncirculated 1941 Jefferson nickel can command higher premiums in the right market. A well-preserved specimen can be worth up to $800,000 or more at a high-end auction. So why do collectors care about this particular coin? Well, for one, it's a piece of American history, with its beautiful design representing two iconic symbols, Jefferson and Monticello. But it's also the combination of factors like rarity, historical significance, and the coin's silver content that make it highly desirable. Collectors seek these coins just for their investment potential, but also for their beauty and the story they tell about America's past. If you're lucky enough to find one of these coins in excellent condition, you could be holding onto a true treasure. Make sure your 1941 nickel retains its value. Proper care is essential. Always handle your coins with care. Use cotton gloves or hold them by the edges to avoid fingerprints. Store your coins in a safe, dry place, preferably in a coin holder or protective case to prevent any further wear or tarnishing. If you're looking to sell or trade your coin, consider having it professionally graded. A reputable coin grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation or the Professional Coin Grading Service can assess your coin and assign it a grade, which will help you determine its market value. To sum it up, the 1941 Monticello Jefferson nickel, without a mint mark in excellent condition, is a valuable piece of American numismatic history. Its silver content, unique design, and rarity make it a great addition to any collection. Whether you're just starting or you've been collecting for years, keep an eye out for this gem. You never know when you might stumble upon one. Next up, the 1942 Monticello Jefferson nickel, without a mint mark, in very good condition. Not only is this coin an important piece of American history, but it's also a rare and sought-after silver coin with a hefty value in today's market. So, let's explore why this coin is so special and what it's worth today. Stick around until the end for some valuable tips on how to spot these coins in your collection. First, let's talk a little about the history of the Monticello Jefferson nickel. Introduced in 1938, the Jefferson nickel was designed by Felix Schlag and featured a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse. But in 1942, things got a bit more interesting. This coin is part of the series that also introduced the silver composition due to wartime nickel shortages, so it's more than just a collectible, it's a piece of wartime history. 1942 Jefferson nickel is especially important because it was struck in 35% silver, a composition change from the usual 75% copper and 25% nickel blend. This shift was necessary because of the need for nickel to manufacture wartime munitions. Mint produced millions of these silver nickels, but they are often mixed up with the more common, non-silver versions from later years. Now, what makes the 1942 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark so rare? Well, the lack of a mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint didn't use mint marks during the 1942 nickel production, which sets these coins apart from others in the same year that might have been minted in Denver or San Francisco. The coin we're discussing here is in very good condition, or VG, according to professional grading standards. In this grade, the coin shows clear wear from circulation, but the basic features are still visible. For instance, Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello building on the reverse are discernible, though some of the finer details may have been worn down over time. Coins in very good condition are still collectible, and this grade typically sees moderate wear. Even though it's not in mint condition, it's still much more valuable than those in lower grades, especially because of its silver content and historical significance. Now, let's talk about the big question: how much is the 1942 Monticello Jefferson nickel worth in today's market? Well, if you're holding a very good condition 1942 nickel without a mint mark, you're looking at a potential value of anywhere from $200,000. That's just for the silver content. But if you're lucky enough to have one in even better condition, say, fine or extra fine, the price can skyrocket, reaching anywhere from $490,000 or even more depending on the market and demand. Keep in mind that coin prices fluctuate based on various factors like collector interest, scarcity, and overall market trends. So, a well-preserved 1942 nickel could command a higher price at an auction or through a dealer. But what makes the 1942 Jefferson nickel so valuable, aside from its silver content? Well, for starters, it's the rarity of the coin, especially without a mint mark. Though millions of these coins were struck, most of them have been circulated and worn down, making higher-grade examples much more desirable to collectors. Additionally, the 1942 nickel is considered a part of a historical period. It represents the shift in metal composition during World War II, and collectors often seek out coins from this era as part of their larger collections of wartime currency. So, how can you spot one of these rare coins? First, check the year. It should clearly read 1942 since we're talking about a coin with no mint mark. It should be from the Philadelphia Mint, which did not mark its coins during this year. Finally, make sure to assess the condition of the coin. If it's in very good or better condition, you've got a piece of silver history on your hands. To wrap things up, the 1942 Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is a silver coin with a rich history and significant value for collectors. Whether it's the silver content or its status as a wartime issue, this coin is certainly one to keep an eye on. Next up, the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1940, featuring the coveted S mint mark. This coin isn't just a piece of history, it's a rare gem with significant value in today's market, especially when found in very good condition. If you're a collector or investor looking for something truly special, stick around to learn everything you need to know about this amazing coin. The Monticello Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938 and has been a staple in American coinage ever since. The 1940 version, in particular, is noteworthy for its historical significance and design. On the obverse, we see the portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. This iconic image was designed by artist Felix Schlag. On the reverse, we see the beautiful depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's plantation home in Virginia, which is why this coin is often referred to as the Monticello nickel. What makes this coin stand out, though, is the mint mark on the reverse, specifically the S mint mark. This tells us the coin was minted in San Francisco, which automatically adds a layer of rarity to the coin, as S mint marked coins are generally less common than those from Philadelphia or Denver. Now, let's talk about the condition of the coin. When evaluating the value of any rare coin, the condition or grade plays a significant role. The 1940 Jefferson nickel with the S mint mark in very good condition is considered a solid find. But what exactly does very good mean? Well, a very good coin shows significant wear but still retains identifiable features of the design, including the date, mint mark, and details of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello. In the case of the 1940 Jefferson nickel, you'll notice that while the coin has seen some circulation, the details remain relatively sharp, particularly the outlines of Jefferson's face and the dome of Monticello. The coin's surfaces will have some wear, but the important features, like the mint mark and the date, are still visible, making this a valuable piece for collectors. Scene transitions to a graph showing the rising values of rare coins over time, with an emphasis on the 1940 Monticello nickel. So why is the 1940 Jefferson nickel with an S mint mark in very good condition so valuable today? Well, there are several factors at play here. First, the S mint mark itself adds rarity, as only a limited number of these coins were minted in San Francisco. In addition, the 1940 nickel, like many other coins from the era, was produced in relatively high numbers, but it wasn't until years later that collectors started to notice its historical significance and rarity. Today, the 1940 Jefferson nickel with the S mint mark, in very good condition, can fetch a price of anywhere from $400,000 depending on the coin's exact quality and market demand. But if you happen to have one in a higher grade, the value can increase significantly. Coins in higher grades, such as fine or extra fine, can sell for over $500,000. For those lucky enough to find a 1940 nickel with an S mint mark in uncirculated or near mint condition, you could be looking at a value of over $700,000. So, even though this is a relatively affordable coin for many collectors, the potential for a high return on investment is there if you happen to own one in better condition. Looking at the broader picture, coins like the 1940 Jefferson nickel with an S mint mark are becoming increasingly sought after, particularly as the world of coin collecting continues to evolve. As fewer of these coins remain in circulation, and as demand for vintage and silver coins grows, the value of these rare coins is likely to increase over time. If you're thinking of adding this coin to your collection, or even investing in it, now might be the perfect time. The coin's value is relatively affordable, but as the years pass, coins like the 1940 Jefferson nickel could become even more scarce and valuable. To sum it up, the 1940 Monticello Jefferson nickel with the S mint mark is a rare and valuable coin that holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. With its rich history, distinctive design, and potential for future growth in value, it's a coin worth keeping an eye on. Whether you're just starting your collection or you're a seasoned collector looking for a rare gem, this nickel is one to add to your list. Do you have a 1940 Jefferson nickel with the S mint mark in your collection? Or are you thinking of hunting one down? Next up, the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1958, specifically one without a mint mark, in very good condition. This coin has become quite a collector's item, and in today's video, we'll break down its significance, history, and current market value. If you're passionate about coins, this is one video you don't want to miss. Now, let's get a close look at this beauty. What makes this 1958 Jefferson nickel unique, and why is it drawing attention from collectors and investors alike? Let's start with the basics. The Monticello Jefferson nickel was first minted in 1938 as part of a design change that featured President Thomas Jefferson, the third U.S. president, on the obverse and his Virginia state, Monticello, on the reverse. The nickel has become one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage, with only minor design changes over the years. Throughout the years, the nickel has gone through several design variations and minting locations. The 1958 nickel is significant because it falls in a post-World War II era, which saw a surge in both coin collecting and the availability of more modern, high-minting coins. However, it was also part of a time when the U.S. government faced economic challenges, and some minting quirks made certain years even more interesting for collectors. Let's talk about what you're looking at when it comes to the 1958 Jefferson nickel. Most notably, this particular coin lacks a mint mark, which is an essential detail for collectors. Normally, mint marks were used to identify where a coin was produced: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and P for Philadelphia in later years. In 1958, the Philadelphia Mint often didn't place a mint mark on coins, so this is not unusual, but it's still an important feature for collectors. When you look at the obverse, you'll see Thomas Jefferson's portrait, designed by Felix Schlag, facing left, with the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" surrounding it. On the reverse, we see Monticello Jefferson's home in Virginia, along with the coin's denomination, 5 cents. The coin we're discussing today is in very good condition. But what does that mean exactly? Well, a very good coin is one that shows signs of heavy wear but still retains most of the details on the design. For the 1958 Jefferson nickel, you'll still be able to make out Jefferson's portrait, but it will show signs of circulation, such as wear along the edges and in the fields of the coin. There may also be some slight loss of detail in Monticello. Even though it's not in mint condition, very good coins still hold a lot of value, especially when they're from a rare or historically significant year. This is one of the reasons why the 1958 Jefferson nickel stands out. So, why is this coin such a big deal in today's market? Well, the 1958 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, especially in very good condition, is considered rare, not because it was a low mintage coin, but because of its age, its historical significance, and the collector demand. Coins from the late 1950s are more common than, say, coins from the 1800s, but they're still valuable, especially in certain conditions. The 1958 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, when in very good condition, can fetch a price between $200,000 for depending on factors like the overall quality, any unusual toning, and the demand within the coin collecting community. While it's not going to make you an instant millionaire, finding one of these coins in good condition could certainly add value to your collection. Coins in better condition, such as those rated fine or extra fine, can be worth more, sometimes up to $400,000, depending on their specific qualities. The 1958 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is more than just a coin, it's a piece of U.S. history. For many collectors, having this coin in their collection represents a connection to the late 1950s, a time when America was in the midst of post-war growth. Collectors also appreciate these coins because of their classic design, which has become synonymous with U.S. numismatics. Additionally, the absence of a mint mark makes this a coin that some collectors actively seek out. Even though Philadelphia didn't always use a mint mark, the fact that this coin lacks one gives it a certain uniqueness that adds to its allure. If you're thinking of buying or selling a 1958 Jefferson nickel, make sure to buy from a reputable source like a licensed coin dealer, or use well-known auction platforms that specialize in rare coins. Always check the coin's authenticity and condition before making a purchase. If you're selling, keep in mind that certain factors, like the coin's preservation and collector demand, will determine its value. To wrap up, the 1958 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in very good condition may not be the rarest coin out there, but it is certainly a desirable piece for collectors. Its historical significance, combined with the scarcity of high-quality examples, has driven its value up over time. If you're a coin collector looking to add a vintage, U.S. nickel to your collection, this one could be worth your attention. And as always, if you're looking for more information about coin values or want to dive deeper into the world of numismatics, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.